Hello, hello. Six, let's see. Evan. Evan, can you hear me okay? Okay, good. You're with me. We're ready to get started on some maths here. Let's see. Emma responded. I like to sing randomly, by the way, when I'm talking to everybody. No, I'm just kidding. Nathan, what about you? Can you hear me okay? I think that's it. Yeah, Chase had to go. Okay. Nathan, can you hear me okay? Okay, good. Good. Okay, well, we will get started. So you guys can see my slides, right?
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. So this is what is due this week. Like I said, for some of you guys who just joined, just so I can make a note of it, who just joined, so I can write your name down, and that's Addie, right? That way I can go back and adjust what is due for you, because you shouldn't have to do everything you did. Okay, good. Addie Larson. And welcome, by the way. I mean, our class. Yeah, that's what I mean. And I just want to apologize again for you guys. That will not be an issue. I work all morning and then I sit down and close my eyes and bam, it's 11:15. So again, I apologize. That will not happen. That's never happened to me before. Hence the little anxiety I feel right now. So, all right. So I just wanted to thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, it's been a crazy week. My son has been having some epic meltdowns at school now that the honeymoon phase is over. So it's been an interesting place, but we get through it. Yeah. So, okay, well, this is what is due this week. You guys have today's live session, which you will get credit for, along with you have a math mindset lesson. That's this guy right here, How Do People Feel About Math? And you guys know you just go to Moodle, watch the video, and you'll get your points. The integers pre-test quiz. Has anybody tried that yet? Okay. Yeah, it's not too bad. You're just going to go in there and you log into that quiz. It's a different site I have. You enter the code and you'll find your name and then just take it. Try to do it without a calculator because that gives me a good sense of how we're doing about integers. But yeah, if you can't, you can't. No big deal. Today we're going to talk all about the rules of adding and subtracting, multiplying and dividing. So that's what we're going to do today. All right, not too shabby there, friends. All right. What used to be on our site is a bunch of stuff about Cornell notes. Now, I don't discourage you from doing it. If that helps you, great. I don't want to get too hung up on note-taking styles. I just want you to take down notes. So I'll tell you what to take down. Cornell notes are something that Heidi, who used to teach in middle school, used to do for credit and all that. But again, I don't want to get too hung up on how we take notes. I'd rather just have you guys work on your math. So yeah, Cornell notes, I have a template on here if you are interested. Talks about writing the main ideas in a column there and then the class notes that go with it. So pretty simple. You just have a column for main ideas and then your class notes are right next to it. That's all. So yeah. Okay, so we're going to talk about integers today and absolute value a little bit. What's an integer, guys? You can write it right on the screen by finding your annotate tool. If you bring your cursor to the top of the page and click on View Options, you can go down and find Annotate, and that is where it is. Or you can type it right into chat, or you can tell me, what is an integer? What do you guys think? Because I don't know, I'm a sleepy mess today. No, I'm just kidding. But what's an integer? What do you guys think? Crickets. No, I'm just kidding. What about a whole number? I love that. Very, very good. It's a whole number. You got it. It includes the whole numbers. It's a little more than a whole number, right? But it definitely includes those whole numbers. And those whole numbers, you guys remember, are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 287,000, etc. Okay. So those are our whole numbers. It is a number. You got it. What else is an integer? Who thinks 0 is an integer? I'm going to give you a hint. Say me. Say me. Me. Haha. Yeah. Freya's got it, right? 0 is also an integer. And what else? What are we missing here? She did it. Yeah. Oh, very good. Very good. Look at that. A positive or negative whole number. You're right. It includes 0, all the whole numbers, and then all of the opposites. So -1, -2, -3, -4, and -287,000. That's just an example. So there's no fractions, no decimals. It's just the positives, the negatives, and 0. Good. What about absolute value? Like,
can I
yeah.
get my mic on? Is that
Yeah,
okay?
you totally can.
So an absolute value is like if you have the number 2, the absolute value of 2 is -2.
And
So
you know what? You're thinking opposites there. I love that. You're thinking opposites. So the absolute value of -2
oh,
2.
then the other way around.
Yeah, no, you got it. Yeah, and that's what a lot of people do. Thank you so much for saying that. Very good. See, you did it so I didn't have to. I'm glad we planned that, right? No. That was good. Thank you. And I love that. If you guys put your mic on, sometimes it's way easier than just typing and all that. But she is absolutely right. Absolute value is usually noted by this sign here. And if you put a -2 in there, the absolute value of -2 is 2. What is the absolute value of a positive number? What is that? A lot of people think you get a negative back, but you actually don't. What would the absolute value of 2 be?
2?
2. You got it. Very good. Because absolute value, when you are figuring it out, what would the absolute value of -287,000 be? What would that be? What do you guys think?
287,000.
You got it. Boom. Very good. So it's 287,000. I don't know why that's my number today. I just like saying that number. But absolute value is a distance away from 0. So it's how far a number is from 0 on the number line. So that's why it can be positive, but it can never be negative. Okay, so it will always be a positive number. So does that make sense? Yes?
Yeah.
Yes, yes? Okay, good. Yeah, so we're just going to use it today. I'm going to tell you for some of the rules for these integers that you might want to find the absolute value and then deal with the operation there. Good stuff, good stuff. Okay, so it's how far a number is from 0. And this would be an example of notes that I would take down. A lot of people do different things. Sometimes they'll take a picture with their phone and they will write it down. You guys also have later in a notebook, because I recommend putting it in a notebook. I really do. Or what people do sometimes is they will take a screenshot. Some of you guys might know how to do that. I never did on my computer, I'm going to tell you. So I'll tell you, another tool you guys have is the snipping tool. If you click on that little circle and type in snip, it'll show up, snipping tool. And then you can click on new snip, and then you can drag it and take a picture of your screen and then save it. So if you guys want to know how to do that, I can email and help you out with that. But that is an option. You just got to save it as something that, you know, makes sense, like live session 9/11. By the way, speaking of 9/11, do we all remember why this is an important day? Just to kind of remember, keep in mind. It's kind of a random thought. Yeah, very infamous day. Yeah, you guys were probably just born. Yeah, no, 9/11. No, you guys weren't even there yet. Yep, the Twin Towers. I remember where I was when it happened. Yeah, very sad day. It's a day to remember. It really is. Very much. Okay, anyway, sorry, that just detracts me for a minute. Very worthy thing to get focused on, right? But you're gonna want to make sure that you save that snip as like today's date or something, just so you remember it and what it's for. So, okay, so this would be the good stuff to take down. Now, if you know what integers and absolute value are, then obviously you don't need to write that down. But if you don't, I would. That's right. Emma Young. I love that arrow. My arrow went, I wonder if I still have my arrow. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Nope. No, see? Where's my arrow? Mine doesn't do that anymore. It's broken. Zoom. Okay, so I'm going to clear all that stuff off. Now we're going to talk about the rules for adding and subtracting integers. This is what I would definitely write down. So when you're adding integers, you're literally just going to add them and put the same sign down. Oh, sorry, I just saw that the subtracting was different there. So that's the first one. So if you have the same signs, you add and use the same sign. So for this one down here, -4 plus -15, we're just going to add them together. They both have the same sign. So what's 4 plus 15? 19. And then we're going to make it a negative, right? -19. Good. You add and use the same sign. Sometimes when they have the same sign, you almost like ignore the negatives and just add. I don't want to put ignore the negatives because then you're going to, so we might even say add the absolute SOL, there you go, I can spell today, values, then use the same sign for the answer. However that makes sense to you. I really like to think of integers as money. So I would even think of this one as we owe $4 and then we owe someone $15. So we owe $19 altogether. So whenever you have a negative, I like to think of that as money that you owe. Make sense? All that good stuff. Who is not the greatest at adding integers? If you feel like identifying yourself. That was always my struggle when I was in school, and I'm better because I teach it, but it really didn't sink in until I started thinking of it as money. Good. Good for you. Yeah, this is where we're going to practice lots of tricks and, you know, and I'm going to tell you, if you're not good at mental math or adding stuff in your head, go ahead and use a calculator for that part. You can do that. I'm not over your shoulders saying, Marina, put that calculator away. I'm not going to do that. But, you know, then practice using the rules by putting the right sign in there. You know, that's how you could do it. But I would think of it as money. That's what I like to do. So that's when the numbers are the same. What if we have, let's see, -5 plus -6? We're going to take the absolute value of those, so 5 and 6, add them together, and since negatives are in both numbers, your answer is going to be a negative. Right, -11. Very good. -11. Cool. So it's not too bad. With the signs are the same, you add them together, use the same sign. It's when the signs are different that it can get really confusing. At least that's what I think there. So when you add integers, when they have the different sign, really all you have to do is you're going to think of it as money, and I'll show you that example, or you can find the absolute value of the numbers. I wrote numbers, N-U-M-B-E-R-S, and subtract them. And then the bigger integer, then use the sign of the bigger integer. So for example, if we have -17 plus 9, a way you could think of that would be, we're going to take the absolute value, so absolute value of -17, yep, Kate's got it, good job, Kate. Absolute value of -17 is 17, and absolute value of 9 is just 9. Oops, ignore, silly phone, okay. And then we would subtract the numbers. So you could think of it as 17 minus 9, which does give you 8. And then our bigger number is a 17, right? And that one was negative. So your final answer is going to be a negative. So that is one way you can think of it there. Okay. If you like the money thing, that's what I really like doing. It helped me make sense of it. You're going to, let's say I owe Cade, I owe you money, oh man, $17, and I have $9 to pay him back, which is great. I owe 17, right? So Cade bought me a sweatshirt. Thanks, Cade. All right. And then I only have 9 to pay him back. So that's not too awesome because I still owe $8. So that means your answer would be a negative. Okay, does that make sense, guys? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's just something that gets better from practice completely. So what if we have, let's say, -5 plus 8? What about that? Signs are different, so we're going to subtract the numbers. So 8 minus 5, basically.
3.
3, yeah, and your answer would be a positive 3 because the bigger number is a positive, right? So this one would be 3. Good. Another way of thinking about it, I owe $5, but I have 8 to pay you back. So I have 3 left over. So there's lots of ways you can think about it. You can think of the negatives as the bad guys. The positives are the good guys. There's 5 bad guys and 8 good guys. So everybody matches up and there's 3 good guys left standing. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Nerd, I'm sorry. I like to play Pokemon Go lately, so you can think of it as Pokemon. Does anybody else play Pokemon Go? Nerds unite! Oh my gosh. Cade, that's a great. I was like, money? Oh yeah. When I have it, Cade, come on. No. Yes, we can. Oh my gosh, yes! I should share my Pokemon code with everybody. Oh my gosh, I'm totally going to. Wait. So you guys can write it down? Yeah. I like to send presents like every day in Pokemon Go. Hold on. I'm gonna get my code. I'm such a nerd. That's okay. Somebody didn't oh yeah. Oh yes. Please share my code with her. Even better. Oh my Kingler. Poor guy. Add friend. Okay, so here's my code. 6643139187. Okay, there's my code. So you guys can write it down. Please don't add now because we got to focus on our math, you know, all that good stuff. But yeah, that would be awesome. Oh, I was playing Pokemon Go when I was taking a walk, and I saw someone else playing it. And I think I insulted them because I went, "Poke Nerds Unite!" And they gave me a look and they walked away. But I was just excited, you know. I'm like, come on, it's okay. So yeah, there's my code. Write it down. We can meet friends. Yay. I didn't even think of adding that for my classes. That's so cool. Good idea, Freya. Good idea. I get so excited. I was in Walmart and I saw this cow Pokemon and it was hilarious. It was, oh, there we go. I thought it was hilarious the way it was really weird, but the udders were swinging back and forth. It was like dancing. Oh my gosh, I couldn't stop laughing. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the booby jiggler. It was like a milk tongue. I don't know, but it was so obscene the way it was. But I was like, I want one of those just because it's funny. Makes me laugh every time. Okay, let's get on subtracting integers. It's my fault for detracting us here. So subtracting integers, my big suggestion is to turn. Oh yeah. Yeah, Marina, I was driving my kids nuts because I was in the car and I would pull over to a Pokestop and they're like, no more Pokestops. I'm like, you guys don't understand. I need them. That's cool. It's a fun activity. It really is. Yeah, I got to get it on my kids' iPads. I think they would like it then. So anyway, um, my big suggestion for subtracting integers is to turn it into, not yet, Cade. Silently, yes, and then you can answer when I get there. Thanks for asking. I really appreciate that. Turn it into an addition problem. So it sounds like Cade is really good at his integers. So if you have, Cade, can I throw your name out there as a resource in case someone's having trouble? Maybe. You can email him. Be like, Cade, help me out, friend. Maybe
You
not.
can.
Okay, great. Yeah. He's a good resource there. That's the best way to learn is to go to friends who get it, you know. Okay, anyway, sorry. I keep seeing the booby jiggler in chat and it's cracking me up. Okay, so my big suggestion is to turn it into an addition problem. So there's 2 ways you can do that. If you have 2 negatives that are kind of facing each other, okay? So remember, two negatives equal a positive. And I gotta move this guy here. Two negatives equal a positive. So if you have like 5 minus negative 3, that's the same as 5 plus 3. Oops. Okay, so I would definitely write that down because subtracting integers can be really tricky. It really can. So two negatives equal a positive. So 5 minus a negative 3 is the same as 5 plus 3. So if you guys look down here at this 10 minus a negative 3, you can ignore those parentheses. A lot of times there will be parentheses around the negative just to show that it's negative. So you can kind of ignore that one. So that's the same as 10 minus a negative 3. What is that the same as doing? What problem is that? So 10 minus a negative 3 is the same as, how can we turn that into addition? 10 plus 3. Yeah, so this is really just 10 plus 3. That is going to be really important to look out for because they will do that to you all the time. So 10 plus 3, Cade, what's that answer? 13. Yeah, 13. Very good. Okay, so that's how it works if it's like a minus next to another minus. Now that's a little different than this other one here, okay? So the other way we can turn it into a positive, and I don't want to use black, I want to use blue. Yeah, that's a good one. So the other way we can do that is a subtraction sign can change into plus a negative. So an example of that would be if you have negative 5 minus 3. That is exactly the same. You take the subtraction sign and change it positive, and then that negative slides with the 3. So that is the same as negative 5 plus negative 3. You got to be careful there because a lot of people try and change that negative on the 5. And you don't want to touch that one. It's always whatever integer is right next to that subtraction sign to the right. You always go to the right. So down here, we have negative 13 minus 5. So negative 13 minus 5. The negative 13 stays there. We don't touch that negative 13. But what about that minus 5? What does this problem change into? What do you guys think? Negative 13 minus 5.
An addition problem?
It does. It definitely does. Thank you. It changes to addition, and then where does that negative go? Because it's still got to go somewhere.
With the 5.
With the 5. Very, very good. Very good. So that negative just kind of slides to the right. So that addition sign slides right in there, and then that negative goes with the 5. And then you just use your addition rules. They have the same sign now, so you're going to add them, and your answer will be negative. So what's negative 13? Yep, Kate's got it. Very good. Negative 18 is our answer there. So that's our big suggestion here. For subtracting integers, just change it to addition and use your addition rules. That's definitely easier to do. You could think of it using a number line, all that good stuff. I would just focus on these rules. It makes life a lot easier. Does anybody have questions on that? Any questions? Yeah, if you have no questions, go ahead and put no or nope. No, that way we, or, sometimes you might be a little unsure, but if I were you, I would write these rules down and stare at them while you're doing your homework. It's just a lot easier that way. Okay, Nathan, how you doing? I haven't seen your name popped up. I think I should get popsicle sticks and write everybody's name on. That way I can be like, who's answered? I think I'm going to do that. That's a really good idea. Yay, I'll pat myself on the back. Got to give yourself props every once in a while, right? Thank you. Good job. I didn't have a good job this morning, dozing off, so that's the shame, Jen. I'm shaming myself. Because I kid you not, this is like the thing I look forward to in the week is live sessions. Oh my gosh, I clicked on another thing and my chat's going crazy. Okay, stop. Okay, Nathan and who else was that? Evan, you guys still with me? Is this making sense? Cool. Nathan, what about you? Holub. I like Nathan's last name. He's got a cool last. You guys all have cool last names. Baumgartner. It's from a movie. I gotta think. Okay. Nathan. Nathan might have dozed off too. I get you, man. Don't worry. All right. So we're going to keep on cruising to multiplying and dividing, just in the interest of time. So we're going to talk multiplying and dividing. And what's really cool is multiplying and dividing, the rules are the same, right? Rules are going to be exactly the same here. So when you are multiplying, if you have two negatives, your answer is positive. And if you have one negative, your answer is, I can't spell answer, S-W-R, is negative. So you got to look at what negatives are in the problem. Okay, and now we're in algebra, so instead of writing the dot or the asterisk or the X, we want to use parentheses to talk about what we're multiplying. And then with dividing, you'll see the fraction bar. Okay, don't forget fraction means top divided by bottom. So yes. Very good. So don't forget that. So if you have two negatives, the answer is positive. One negative, the answer is negative. And for dividing, the rules are the same as multiplying. So in our first one here, we have two negatives. That means our answer is going to be what?
Positive.
Positive. Very good. Very good. So we're going to have a positive answer. That's the first thing I look at. And then we just multiply the numbers. What's 12 times 3? 36. Yeah, here's where I'm not shy to admit I would use a calculator because I don't remember my 12s very well. So it's a good thing to practice. So that is an example of how you can use a calculator while still practicing the rules. You know, just multiply the numbers, but think about the rule in your head. And the next one, this one's a tricky one because technically we have one negative. So technically, Evan, you got it. You're totally right. Technically, what would our answer be if 0 wasn't involved? Since there's one negative in the problem, yeah, Emma, you got it. Our answer would be negative. But we have 0. And whenever you multiply by 0, Evan's exactly right, your answer is going to be 0. It does not matter if it's positive or negative. Very good. All right, let's look at dividing now. This one's just positive, so our answer is positive. What's 15 divided by 3? 5, yep, 15. Remember, it's top divided by bottom. And this next one, we have one negative in the problem, so that means our answer is going to be what? Negative, yeah, and it is a -1. Whenever you have the same, it looks really weird when it's written out. I always think that looks weird, but the same divided by the same number is always 1. A lot of people think it's 0, but it's never going to be 0 until you have a 0 in the problem with multiplying and dividing. So very good. Any questions on multiplying and dividing? Questions on the rule? Okay. Now here's the thing. We go through it one day, and then let's say you sit down on Friday to do the stuff and you forget the rules. And you see them written down, but it's just not doing much for your learning. What could you do?
Come back to the recorded version of the live session.
Very, very good. Definitely. I will have the live session up there today as soon as we're done. And then what else could you do? Let's say the way I explained it was like, that's just not working for me. What else could you do? What do you guys think? You watch tons of tubers on this very excellent resource. A lot. You could go to, not my tube.
YouTube.
YouTube, yeah, very good. Thanks for taking my weird hint there. You definitely could go to YouTube and just type in, you know, rules for multiplying and dividing if you know, if that is what you need. So very good. Okay. Next one. Okay, let's do a quick little thing here. -2 plus -7. We're adding. Both signs are the same. So that means you're adding and your answer is going to be the same. So which number do you guys think it is? Go ahead and put it in chat. Do you think it's choice number 1, 2, 3, or 4? I like what I'm seeing. Here's where it can get confusing using numbers to represent them. So we've got 2 people who think it's -9 and 1 person who thinks it's +9. Choice 3. She wasn't saying 3. There's Nathan. Hi, Nathan. Halub. Is that how you say your last name? I love that. Yeah, and it looks like majority is saying -9, and you would be absolutely correct. If you said 9, you were just focusing on the math part. You just forgot to put that negative in there. Totally understandable. Totally. Here's where having those rules, bam, in front of you totally helps. Okay, so same sign, so we're just going to add them. And then they both are negative, so that means your answer is negative. Good. What about the second one? There's only one negative in there. Yep, you guys are saying -44. Definitely. So there's only one negative in the problem, so your answer is going to be negative. And then you just do the math. 11 times 4 is 44. Ugh, dividing with fractions. We didn't talk about that yet. You can do that one. I'm sure it would, but don't need to worry about it. So we could have a different one. Let's see. Let's do -42 divided by -6. What would that one be? Seven, right? And Kate, I think you're right with that last one there. Very good. 7. You're exactly right. 42 divided by 6 is 7, and you already have 2 negatives in the problem, so your answer would be positive. Good. Good stuff, my friends. All right. Oh, and that is all I have for you. So that is it, my friends. Thank you so much for being patient and coming back in. I appreciate it. I promise you that is the first time it has ever happened, and it will not happen Again, usually I don't feel like somebody ran over me. So we'll be feeling good, I promise. But if you have questions, feel free to hang out. Otherwise, you are free to go. So thank